Okay, well, welcome everybody who is here live, as well as those of you that are catching the replay. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Christy Cole. I am a high performance coach in life and business. I spent 15 years leading disruptive sales teams in the medical device sector and have been a high performance coach outside of the medical device industry, serving all sectors, executives, business owners, those that are running, working for somebody, as well as working on their side hustle. And I also coach celebrities and entrepreneurs. And a big piece of how I got started in all of this was really hinged on my ability to focus, my ability to pivot, my ability to understand what are the most important things that we need to do right now in order to hit our goal. This time of year, I see that a lot of people really start to panic. It seems as if that there is an illusion of where and when the holidays are actually going to hit. And we start to see the leaves change. And most of the time, not all of the time, but most of the time, I see people pick their foot up off the gas or go into sheer panic thinking that they don't have enough time to get everything accomplished. And it's really important for us just to pause and take a deep breath and realize that we are almost 60 days before Thanksgiving and we have 86 days before Christmas, which puts us at over 90 days before the end of the year. So there is of time, plenty of time for us to focus in and realize what we need to do from now until the end of the year to both hit our goals as well as to enjoy the holidays. So the first thing that I really want everybody to stop and think about is, where are you right now? Oftentimes I see that we are so committed to the end goal. We're so committed to the thing that maybe we put on our vision board in January or something that we said out loud, that even if it doesn't 100% make sense anymore, we don't give ourselves the permission to pivot. And so I want to give you that permission right now to pause and gain clarity on where it is actually that you are and what is the right thing for you to focus on from now until the end of the year? Is it that thing that you set out to accomplish, or is it something entirely different? What are the most important things or things that you need to do before the end of the year? Is that hitting a revenue goal? Is that focusing on your health? Because that's the foundation of everything. Is it focusing on family? Is it hiring more people? Is it letting somebody go on your team that you need to let go? Is it marketing and getting the word out? Right now, we will be into October tomorrow, and that's when I start my 2026 planning. So, as you think about what you need to do to finish this year, I'd welcome you to think about next year. Why can't you start to look at your goals for next year? And maybe that'll help give you clarity on what it is that you need to focus on right now. Maybe you need money to pay the bills. Maybe you need money to grow. Maybe you need that to be a focus, but also there's some other foundational things that you need to get squared away before you roll into 2026. I'm not sure what it is, but I'm sure that you know exactly what it is. And once you have that, and I'll send this recording out so you can take a little bit of time to think about all of these things. But once you have that, I want you to also take personal inventory of how are you feeling right now? Do you feel energized and ready to go? Did you have a restful summer and you have some big goals and you are just ready to go after them right now? Do you feel like you're tired, but you're still able to do all the things? Do you feel like you're starting to experience burnout where you wake up and you're just exhausted and you just can't seem to get awake until 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon after multiple cups of coffee and or energy drinks? Rest is so critically important. And you may not feel like you have the capability to rest a lot right now, but I would really encourage you to think about where you are and make sure that you are choosing a goal that's going to allow you to continue this marathon of life. There's so many demands on us, there's so many things to do. It's a really good opportunity, and this is a big piece of my work when it comes down to how do you focus in and hit your goals. It never comes down to adding. It's always about subtracting. What do you need to subtract from your day? What do you need to subtract from your schedule? We can't do it all. And I just see people, women especially, keep adding and keep saying yes and keep feeling the guilt. But right now, we need to make sure that you are ready for the holidays, you're ready to finish the year, and you're setting the time aside to get the necessary rest. And that just may be that you're getting the necessary rest every single night. That may mean that you need a little extra time to get some rest. I know that years ago, when I was coming off of a busy season, my naturopath said you have to have a full day every week of rest. And I was like, that's fine. I can grab my laptop and turn a movie on and, spend Saturday on my couch in front of my laptop. And she said, that's not rest. You're not resting your brain, like complete rest. So I just share that because I see so many people continuing to push. And then unfortunately, then the body just tells us, forces us into rest. So think about what makes the most sense for you. If you had a 90-day sprint or you spent the next 60 to 90 days, do you need to slow it down right now? Do you need to pivot? Do you need to put a foundation in place for next year? Do you need do a little bit of all of those things? High performance coaching is so individualized. What I need right now is probably not what you need. You have to be comfortable and start to be comfortable giving yourself permission to take whatever it is that you need right now. Okay? So once you have all of that, this is an exercise that I love to bring people back to. And if this is your first time here and you haven't done this before, this one will really this will be something that you use forever. So the question I always ask is if you were to think back to the most successful period of time in your life, most successful period of time professionally. It's like no matter what you did, everything was a yes. People said yes. You walked into a room and it was just magnetic. Everybody was gravitating towards you. They were interested in what you had to say. You think back to that most successful time in life, and then you think about what you were doing for yourself during that time. What was one thing? If you said, like, man, I never miss this every single day, I never miss this. What would that thing be for you personally? It could be sleep, it could be hydration, it could be date night, it could be laughter with your partner, could be catching a workout. What is that most important thing that you rarely ever missed that was present during your most successful period of time? And you may be experiencing that time right now. Could have been a year ago, could have been 6 months ago, could be right now, could be 8 years ago. What was that one thing? And once you have that one thing, I want you to rate yourself the past 60 days. How have you done showing up for that one thing on a scale of 1 to 10? Okay, once you got that, we're going to do the same thing professionally. You think back to that period of time where everything was going so well. Every sales call, they said yes, or the majority of them did. If it wasn't a yes right now, they appreciated you. You knew the door was open for you to come back. The rooms were magnetic. So much traction. Could have been on social media, could have been speaking, could have been in your business, could have been leading a team, whatever it is. What's the one thing professionally that you never missed on during that most successful period of time? And then rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. Past 60 days. How good have you done showing up for this for yourself? For most of us that have a business, it's going to be points of contact. Who knows who you are? Who knows what you have to offer? Are you getting up every single day? Are you doing your reach outs? Are you posting on social media? How good have you done the past 60 days? Okay, and so this is anybody that I work with. It doesn't matter if I'm working with a celebrity, if I'm working with a high profile person, if it's a company owner, if it's a CEO of a $500 million company, if it's a woman in my 12-week Unleash program. We work on drilling down and identifying a scorecard. What is your daily scorecard that you can hit every single day? And that scorecard is going to include multiple things personally, multiple things professionally. But if you could just focus on one, what we just did, the exercise that we just did, will give you an idea of what you need to do to make sure that you're showing up as your best self and you have your scorecard that no matter what happens, this is what you get done. This is one of the biggest secrets of the highest performers. They know exactly what they need to do every single day, and nothing gets in the way of doing that. And so that's why it's so critically important in the beginning to go, okay, what am I running for the next 90 days? Is it like, am I going to catch my breath? Am I choosing a new goal? Am I going to blow it out of the water because I have so much momentum going and I want to, I want to go grab all of this while it's there? I don't know, but you know. So, what's the most important thing personally to be able to show up and get that done? What's the most important activity professionally? And again, there's multiple, right? So personally for me, working out is a huge thing. I decided to run a half marathon, my first half marathon. So hydration, nutrition, sleep, it's even more important. I'm eating like a man right now, like like a 250-pound man. And so like that's a focus right now for me. Um, and then professionally, it really comes down to points of contact. That's my number one activity. Now, there's multiple things that I need to do. I have multiple businesses that I own. Coaching and speaking are the two that I'm critically focused on. Everything else, I have an ownership and I'm running operations, leadership, etc. But I'm very much focused on points of contact. So the working out thing, that's easy. That's number one. All the other things really go into that, right? If I'm working out, then I'm going to focus on hydration. There's usually an anchor. I'm going to focus on sleep. I'm going to wear my Whoop and make sure that I'm getting good recovery. I'm going to be get in the sauna. And there's all these things. Professionally, it's points of contact, right? And so the goal is discovery calls. So if I were to reverse engineer that goal of having more discovery calls, what do I need to do? Right. Well, I need to speak more. I need to host webinars. I need to post to be able to have conversations in the DMs. I need to have connection calls. So I'm going to reverse engineer my professional activities as it relates to points of contact and go, okay, well, if I host a webinar, a free webinar once a month, if I post every single day, if I find and secure 2 speaking gigs and I have 1 connection call every single day, that's going to roll up into more discovery calls. So if you see, let's say I had a goal of, having 50 discovery calls by the end of the year, that could be really overwhelming. Like, who am I gonna, and not just discovery calls, like discovery calls with people that actually understand the benefits of having a coach, right? I've had a coach my entire adult life. I have 2 coaches right now. It's how I go so fast. So where are the people that understand and have the desire um, to hire a coach, or to, where are the stages that I could speak on? So it's not just having connection calls and conversations, it's having really good ones. And that could be really overwhelming to think like, how am I going to get 50 good, qualified people into a discovery call? Well, that's too much to think about. But if I get up and go, okay, well, I can post every single day, I can look and secure and reach out, to the agents that are working on speaking gigs. I can, look for connection calls. I can find opportunities to network. I can focus on that every single day. And then that becomes a priority. And really everything is routed through that. Like that, I have got to get that done every single day. Once that's done, I can add other things on. The holidays should not. So this is a big piece, like I said, of everything that I do, both individually and my Unleash program. Um, Having awareness in optics is so critically important, and the holidays should not sneak up on us. Like if they're the same days every single year, right? I remember for years I'd ask my mom, like, when's Thanksgiving? And she's like 30 days before Christmas. When's Thanksgiving? When's Thanksgiving? And it's true. It really, we have line of sight to all of this. And so if you could just have the awareness of where do you fall short every year, or where does the anxiety come? Can you start to get ahead of that right now? So, one of the first questions that I always ask myself is what's the date that I want to be wrapped up and fully present with all the work stuff? Like, I'm going to shut it down for a few days. I'm going to go home to Ohio. I'm going to be there with my family. What's the date that I want to have everything wrapped up by? And then, if you celebrate Christmas and you give gifts, well, like, when do I want to get my shopping done? So if I want to get my shopping done by a certain day, my family, niece and nephew, there's always lists, and I got to track those. I got to track those lists down. I want to get them what they want, which means I have to get the lists. Who's the hardest to shop for? That's probably the thing that I'm going to be running around last minute to do. How many parties do I typically go to? Wardrobe's always a stressor for me. So having the time to get wardrobe or have somebody help me with that, hostess gifts, dishes, all of that. We have plenty of time. Today is September 30th. We have plenty of time if we put this on our calendar and we spend a little bit of time getting ahead of all of this. So for me, I want everything to be done by December 20th because I'm going to head home to Ohio and I want to be fully present. I don't want to be thinking about work. Now, if something comes in, it's really easy for me to respond to if there's an opportunity that comes in. But in terms of like the activity and getting up and doing, my daily method of operation, I reach out to so many people every single day. I have so many conversations going. I'm following up with so many people. I don't want to be doing that. I want to be wishing people a happy holidays. I want to be letting people know, what they mean to me. And that's really easy to do. But I need to have line of sight of what my goals are, what am I focused on, and where's the hard fast. I'm finished. When do I want to have my shopping done? I mean, for me, like the big stuff, I want it all done by the beginning of December. Christmas is my favorite time of year. I want to grab a coffee and stroll and look at lights. And there's always all this extra stuff that I end up thinking about for people, like an extra gift or something special I want to do for them. But that comes because I'm in the present nostalgia of the moment. I'm in my feelings. I am enjoying, I'm thinking about people. If I'm running around thinking about last minute shopping or so and so didn't give me any ideas or whatever it may be, I'm not going to get into that flow. And that's just such a magical, beautiful place for me to be. So, around Thanksgiving time is when I'm going to want to get the lists from my family. And then I sit down, I do all my shopping in one day. The beautiful, such a beautiful thing to have online shopping. So I sit down and I order everything around the Black Friday holiday. Now it seems like it extends for almost a week. And so I get the list and I sit down and I get the vast majority of everything done that day. I do the same thing when it comes time to wrap. I get it all done. My dad's the hardest to shop for. He kicks into gear about a week beforehand, and so it's like we're not going to change him. That's fine. We're going to have fun with that and not be annoyed by it. Typically go to a handful of parties, and so if I have to return something, not a big deal. But I'm going to get ahead of all of this and think about the activities that I want to do. And again, one of the beautiful things about social media, we're all probably scrolling anyway and probably scrolling at night. Can't we just keep some folders in Instagram or on our phone and now start to save like, okay, here's like 3 or 4 dishes that I can make if I get invited to a party or I already have these parties here's some hostess gift ideas, and to really just start, utilizing the time, because I know we're at some point we all either read at night or we binge watch a show or we scroll. There's an opportunity for us to just get ahead of all of this so that we're not scrambling last minute if it seems like that happens typically. So just to recap here, and I encourage you to rewatch this. I know there was a lot of people that messaged me that could not be on, and those of you that are on, thank you so much for being here. Just to recap, watch us as many times as you need to. What's the most important goal that you need to complete by December 31st? And there may be many things. There may be a few things. They may cross into different categories of family, um, and work and health, you know. And what I'm going to do is not going to probably be the right thing for you. So think about what the most important thing is and give yourself permission to pivot. So we can let go of these goals. It doesn't matter who we announce them to. If they don't feel aligned or right, or you don't have any gas left in the tank and you need to rest, give yourself permission to pivot or push things out if you need to. And also, as you're thinking about what to focus on, think about what would set yourself up best for 2026. Now, oftentimes, because I've led sales teams for 15 years in the medical device industry and being a high performance coach and getting teams focused, I get a lot of calls from big companies to come in and do goal setting and planning. And one of the most annoying things is when I get these calls to come in like in February or March, and I'm like, guys, the year started in January, right? So I do my goal setting actually. I start looking ahead and I put my plan together. It's 95% complete in October. So oftentimes when I get to this point in the year, I am really just getting things buttoned up and going, okay, do I need to pivot? What do I need to focus on to make sure that I set myself up as best as I possibly can for 2026? Do I need more people on the team? Well, I better start looking for them. What's the focus of the podcast? I got to figure that out. Whatever it may be. I'm just kind of making things up here. But what is it for you? Because again, oftentimes the holidays come and we just got this stuff that's swirling out up there, and it's taking a piece of our joy away. And that's the part that I really have a hard time watching people not live with peace and joy and happiness when we could if we just focus on a few of these things right now. And once you have, your goal, then I want you to take an honest inventory. And this is just between you and you. How are you feeling right now? What is your capacity like right now? Do you feel tired? You rested and ready to go. Do you feel tired, but you're like, you know what, Christy, I take 2 weeks off at the end of the year. I'm gonna push through this and I'm gonna hit these goals and then I'm gonna rest for 2 weeks. Or are you like, man, I'm really feeling the signs of burnout. I need to do something different right now. It's a marathon, not a sprint. If you have the capability to, I would really suggest that we all schedule rest in from here until eternity, and you give yourself what you need. Once you really start to feel those symptoms, it's going to take longer to get back. Number 3, identify what the most important activities are for you. Your daily scorecard. We didn't go through it all today. We didn't have time. But if you could just think about what's the most important thing personally that you have to do every day, and what's the most important thing professionally. Personally is going to be what helps you become a 10 out of 10, what makes you feel the most confident, what is most important to you right now. If I were to answer that 4 months ago, I twisted my ankle and I had a sciatic injury. And the most important thing that it wasn't working out. I wish it was, but for the past 4 months, up until a month ago, it was making sure that I did my exercises, that I rested, that I recovered from the treatment that I was getting to get that sciatic squared away so I could get myself back. So it wasn't working out. That was my number one thing personally. Professionally, for most of us, it's points of contact. If you have a business or you have the ability to affect your revenue within the company that you work for, it's points of contact. Who knows about you? Are you following up? Are you closing? Are you posting on social media? Points of contact, points of contact, points of contact. And number 4, get ahead of the holidays. It's a great opportunity to network. It's a great time to meet new people, and it's a really nice time to be able to deepen the important connections that are out there to you. But if you're focused on your goal and you're focused on shopping or all these other last minute things, like to me, it's always wardrobe. It comes down to freaking out over what I'm going to wear. So I get ahead of that stuff. I mean, we all know ourselves, right? Um, okay. Just want to share this with you. This is the last time that I'm doing this year. So, we've done, this is now our fifth cohort of Unleash. This is a group program for women. Men, I can do one-on-one. I can walk you through this framework one-on-one. Just found that, over the years of coaching, it does not matter who I'm coaching, it's the same fundamentals. And so the more speaking that I had done, there was a need to create a framework for people that are really ready to level up. So I see that, some people will like do a free course, or they'll grab a book, or they're looking for things to get to better themselves. Then there's, other people, and maybe you're here and that's totally fine. Maybe you're here, maybe you don't know where you are, but those that are really ready to pull the lever and be in a group of supportive women who are walking through identifying, how do I go faster? How do I go further? Maybe you don't have clarity on what it is that you need to do or exactly where it is you're going. My 12-week Unleash program, it solves alignment. And so alignment could be that you want to make a major pivot, or alignment could be that there's small things within your business or day that we can align so that it feels better, you can go faster, uh, etc. And then I introduced all of my high performance systems. So the scorecard is one of them. You get all my time management. You'll learn how I plan my day, how I plan my week, how I set boundaries, how I take things away, I can shrink 8 hours into like 2.5 hours. So I really have two speeds. I have, complete focus with no distractions. And then I have blow around like an autumn leaf, and I don't really know where my phone is. And I love both of those sides. There's kind of like a masculine, feminine, there. So that's the second part of this 12-week program. And then the third part of it is all of my advanced high performance techniques. So, I've studied alongside of Todd Herman. Todd Herman created, the alter ego alongside Kobe Bryant, Black Mamba. Tim Grover, Ben Newman, all of these folks that are coaching and operating at the highest level, these are my peers. And so I introduce a lot of those advanced high performance techniques, and you can apply them, wherever it makes sense for you. But it could be an 8-week program. The reason I do 12 weeks is one thing I found in the world of personal development is that you need time to integrate, and you need support during the integration. So if you think about like, oh, this didn't work, or oh, I forgot to do that, we're all creatures of habit, and myself too. I'll set these new goals, and then if I didn't integrate or set the time right or have the accountability, the whole day goes by and it was a really important goal and I completely forgot to do what it was that I was supposed to do. So having the group together to be able to learn all of this and put it into play, and just keep calibrating till now it becomes your new normal. That's why I've made it 12 weeks. And then, of course, there's WhatsApp support in between the calls. And then when everybody's finished, I roll everybody into a group WhatsApp. It's a Unleashed Alumni for women, just to stay connected. We do some other just, free events in Charlotte and Zoom, etc. Just a great group of people that are looking to, continually be open and honest and aware, and as they're moving through life and crushing goals and pivoting and learning from each other. So that's what I have for you today. Those of you that are on the call, I'm going to stop sharing. If you have any questions, please feel free. You can write them in the comments, or you can come off mute and ask me any questions. It could be about anything that I presented today, for the emergency webinar, Don't Fall Behind, or it could be about Unleashed. Any questions? I'll keep the chat open. Okay, if there are no questions, I'll get this recording out. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday. If anything comes to mind, you're welcome to hit me up. If you want to book a discovery call, you can hit me up in the DMs or go to unleashwithchristy.com. If you want to book a discovery call and learn more about it, no, it's a no pressure situation. I think it has to be the right fit for you, and it has to be the right time for sure. But more than happy to answer any questions so that you can determine that for yourself. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day.